You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Independence Day. Happy birthday, America, as we continue our live broadcast from Chateau Le Mo. And everyone has left me at the studio by myself as they've gone up to watch and listen to the fireworks. And although it started off relatively slow where we are, it's really picked up. As I don't know if you can hear in the background, but there's a lot more fireworks activity in this particular neighborhood. And Raul, who's working the show from the board in today, I didn't get a chance to bring you in, and I definitely want to bring you in as we celebrate America's birthday and Independence Day. And I'm quite sure we all have very different memories of what it was like growing up. I didn't get the opportunity to ask you, what were your Independence Days like growing up?
Well, I grew up in Ontario, California. So, you know, the fireworks weren't legal, you know, allegedly, but people still did their thing. But I remember getting my fireworks taken away by the fire department one year. So that was kind of a bummer.
Was it like a community experience? Was it just the kids out there playing with the fireworks, or was it, I know you heard that, or was it more than that?
You know what? It was just backyards. Everybody in their backyards having barbecues. It wasn't so community, but you know, it was, every house had their own little fireworks. And so you could see through the backyards that people were doing their thing.
I know that you probably have some family stories or memories connected to the 4th of July, as we all do. When I talk about the 4th of July, is there a family member who comes to mind? Is there a specific day or an event or an incident which comes to mind?
Oh, my God. It's funny that you asked that. The one moment that stands out in my mind is getting pulled over by the police with my stepdad, who had been drinking.
Oh, my goodness.
And they let him go.
How old were you?
I was probably like 14, 15. And, you know, Marvin Campbell, rest in peace, man. He was wild. The guy was a wild man. So, you know, it's just funny. I was like, wow, he didn't get a DUI. That's incredible to me, you know, but different times.
Right. We're not condoning it. We're just saying, you know, it happened.
No. Yeah. Different times, you know, growing up, like I'm 52 years old. So 14, you know, at 14, it was a different world back then. But
yeah, we're all around the same age. Mark Ronner, if you can hear me, very quickly, what were some of your memories growing up about 4th of July, Independence Day?
Well, we just had like the most popular dad in the neighborhood, my best friend's dad, on the corner across the street, who would set off the fireworks for the whole neighborhood because he was the alpha male. So we weren't allowed to touch much, and we just watched him go to town and hope that nobody's house burned to the ground. You know, the people in the neighborhood, including my grandpa, would spend the afternoon hosing down the roof just in case.
Yes.
But it was always. It seems so prehistoric now because the fireworks were all prehistoric. You had those pinwheel things that we actually hammered to trees when they set off sparks. And I have no idea how that didn't cause a massive fire in our neighborhood at the time.
I remember getting burned by sparklers. You know, you think that they're harmless enough until they burn you. I was burned multiple times by sparklers. I remember playing with Piccolo Pete's. You know, that whistling sound.
Are those the most irritating firework of all time?
Yes.
If not, what is more irritating than a Piccolo Pete?
What bothered me is I thought they're supposed to explode at the end. And a lot of times they didn't. It's like an anticlimactic event. I needed something to explode at the end, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, they just whistle and then they Piccolo Peter out.
That was well done.
Thank you.
You almost deserve a rim shot for that.
I don't know if Raul does the rim shots. Raul,
no, he does. He did one earlier tonight.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's so insane that we used to just play with these dangerous explosives when we were children.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, we weren't really trusted to handle anything more than like those little charcoal things that expanded into what were supposed to be snails or snakes or something.
Snakes, yes.
The dullest firework of all time, but we couldn't touch the big ones. Well, although you mentioned sparklers, those were weapons and little flaming childhood swords. We always used those to attack each other.
Yes. And you think this is insane. Why would you ever let a child have something this dangerous every single year, multiple times? You know, you might play with them for a good week or two before the actual 4th of July.
I mean, I guess we did pass the, well, did you die test, but I think some people probably did die.
They probably did die. And you know, we didn't have social media, but you still had the news reports of kids losing their fingers. Unfortunately, appendages being blown off or, ending up in the hospital. People were getting hurt, but we were in a time where they just let us do whatever we wanted.
Oh,
surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I was such a moron kid. I had like a handful of little firecrackers tucked between my fingers, and I was going to light them off and throw them like I was Nick Fury in the World War II comics. And before I could get the final one lit, the first one blew up in my hand. I'm just lucky that I've got all my stuff still attached. My God, we were so stupid back then.
It was, and they sold it to us. It was legal. You could go down to the corner and buy them, and it's unthinkable today. I mean, for a good reason. Don't get me wrong.
Well, not just that, but I don't know if they had this here, but in the Pacific Northwest, where I was a child, people would buy boxes of this stuff at the Native American reservations, and this stuff was some heavy ordnance too.
We still have some heavy ordnance. They have these M80s, which I think is like an eighth of a stick of dynamite. It's not legal, of course, but you'll hear it every once in a while, and it will shake the cars and set off car alarms. And those are the ones which are really, really dangerous. But I haven't heard as many of them this particular year.
Yeah, those M80s, you can blow up a whole toilet with those, or so I'm led to believe.
Toilets. In my old neighborhood, this is like in my 20s, you could always tell what we call the hood fireworks, the legal fireworks. I shouldn't have said that. Someone would bring out a toilet, an old toilet, and put it in the middle of the street because it was a very, very effective rocket launcher where it would prop up the bottle rockets and everything, and you didn't have to get too close.
Oh, that's pretty clever. We didn't have that.
No. It was always an old toilet. It was almost like clockwork. Someone got a new toilet, and then the old toilet was just put in the middle of the street, and that was used as a rocket launcher. No lie. I know I have some pictures of it of my Instagram from years back, but every single year, seemingly.
No, that's fancy. That's something that we didn't have back then. I think we got rid of our old toilets.
Oh, no. You use everything. Everything has a secondary use. And Twala just got back in here from the fireworks. Did you see anything up there?
Oh, it was major up there.
Okay.
Oh, it's major. It is not.
They're here now. They're out now.
Oh, no. It's on the popping right now. Yeah. And as soon as I walked outside, I was met with the sound of an M80 going off. Boom. I had to duck for a quick second because I thought they were shooting. It is absolutely amazing up there. Everyone is enjoying the fireworks show. They're just wowed by the fact that once again, every angle, 360, you will see something magical happening in the air.
It sounds like you guys are reporting from Gaza.
You can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can hear it now. We can hear it clear.
They were holding back. I guess they were saving their good stuff for 9:00 because they've let go. It's on and popping for real right about now.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it.
We'll have more in just a moment. KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Happy birthday, America. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
On Independence Day, happy birthday, America. And you can probably hear in the background, we have plenty fireworks. What we did not have earlier in the day, they're making up for them right now. I didn't have a chance to run up to the park because there's just too much going on. But Twala, you did have a chance to get up there. What did you see?
The park is full. Lots of young people, all about wowed by, again, what is the most spectacular fireworks show. When I went live, several people chimed in commenting on how amazing the view is up there. And it really, really is. And to see fireworks shows all around you going up, some legal, some illegal. But I didn't see a single drone in the sky, so the fireworks are free and flying right now.
Yeah, it almost seemed like there was a conscious decision to wait, let's, as they say, keep her powder dry and wait until nightfall and not bring undue attention to yourself prior to.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it hit like 9:00, they were letting them all go, where most of the day you didn't hear anything.
And what you hear in the background, I promise you, it's muted compared to what it sounds like when you're actually out there. And I will go back out again So if you can find me actually on social media, you
Mr.
will be
Twala
able
Sharp.
to see
Mr. Twala Sharp at Mr. Twala Sharp. I felt like I needed to do that just to return the favor.
I did it all night last night.
I know
I'm
you did.
surprised
I know you did.
Your socials have not blown up. I was hilarious.
Yes.
Mark was like, "You're gonna hit him like that?" I'm like, "Yes, absolutely like that." It was hilarious. I saved it to my fieriest commentary. It was like, if you have any problem with anything I'm saying, you hit me directly at Mr. Mo Kelly on all socials.
Yeah. With forethought and malice, you did that.
But it is amazing out there. I think this is like the cherry on top of one of the best family gatherings I have ever attended. I mean, this is so much fun. This reminds me of my childhood and just a real old school neighborhood get together. And that's what this is to me. This is what I believe America is striving for. I believe this is what we, the people, want, regardless of what, any madness that's happening on Capitol Hill. We, the people, want this. There are people from all ages, all races here today, all coming together, breaking bread, sharing good times, sharing a laugh, enjoying the baking competition, and now enjoying this firework finale to just remind us of greatness and how great a country this is to be in right now. To be able to have a moment like this is amazing, because what we're hearing right now, these are fireworks. This is not bombs dropping and shells being fired as it is in the Middle East. This is a gift to America that we are able to celebrate like this, and celebrate duly so.
What makes me feel warm all over is the fact that with all these young people here, they are getting their own memories, their own experiences that they'll get to tell years from now. They get to be the person on the microphone or in the big easy chair where the kids are all around them a generation from now and talk about their experiences during the 4th of July. Hopefully good experiences. And I can say that I helped facilitate that on just a very small level. In the way that I think about the 4th of July parades that I was in and got to partake in, they will have their own experiences that they can pass on, or their own traditions as well, and start their own.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a game changer. And, everyone here, and you've only got a few people on the mic to say thank you and La Mujer for having this event. But we do thank you for doing this, for opening up your house for all of us to come together and enjoy this moment, because it's not something you have to do, something that you choose to do, something that you choose to open your house and your heart to. And we are incredibly grateful for you doing so.
We appreciate that. And there were a few people who did hit me on Facebook, and I guess they couldn't find the live. And I don't know if it was because you're on Facebook and not Instagram, but the lives are still there. We did an Instagram live of the dessert competition in totality. So you'll be able to see all the entrants and contestants and their dishes. You get to see that. And also you'll get to see the first 2 hours of the show. We went straight Instagram live for 2 hours at Mr. Mo Kelly. That should be uploaded and available on my page as well. I'm pretty sure I did it right. So it should be there. You can take a moment and see all the festivities from basically inside the studio, not just listening to it on KFI. There's nothing wrong with that, but you get a better sense of how we were working and playing at the same time. And I have to be honest, this is, when I tell people this is the best job in the world, that's part of the reason. I'm at work, but I'm not at work. All right, let's be honest now, okay? There are worse jobs to have. There are worse things to do than celebrate America's birthday. You have food, family, and fun, and fireworks. Not a bad job.
Yeah. I really hope that you listening, you are taking some time to enjoy this moment. I hope you have been having a wonderful, wonderful 4th yourself, wherever you are. I hope you are being safe. I hope that if you have imbibed a little, that you take advantage of all the ways you can get home, be it Uber or Lyft, where Foosh is out there.
We were checking all our folks, making sure.
Absolutely. Or you could even get yourself a Waymo. You can get yourself a Waymo.
I'll allow that.
If you're in the area and you need to get home safely, they are available as well.
Now, I have to say it. Now, Raul, can you still hear the fireworks?
Yes.
Because we always wonder when we're doing the show, we hear it one way, but we don't know how the audience and how you're in the studio are hearing it.
It sounds like it's
loud
next
for us.
door. It sounds like it's like right in the room next door.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, that's what
but
it
it's
sounds
actually
like.
up and down the street and neighborhoods over and you know, it wasn't. It's usually like this every single year, but it's usually like this all day long into the evening. It wasn't like that today, but they've saved it all up for now. I'm suspecting it's probably dying down as far as the main fireworks shows because the professional shows usually start around 9:00 and it'll end around 9:15. So everything you're hearing at this point, they're illegal fireworks. Just, you know.
Yeah, this is all in the hood.
Yeah, this is all
in the
personal
hood.
stash.
Like what you were seeing on my Instagram when I went out there, that wasn't far, far away. That was like within, you know, a few city blocks that you were seeing all that. That's not, I'm not even looking all the way down to some of the shows that may be happening downtown LA or nothing. No. We can see all the way down there, but nah, man, this is the hood.
Yeah, and they will probably go, if past is prologue and a predictor of the future, they will probably go into at least 3 a.m. At least
3 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll hear it until about 3 a.m. and that, you know, that's life, you know, in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it is.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they've been saving them up clearly because they weren't using them earlier in the weeks and the months leading up to now. And I said earlier, they usually start in April. No exaggeration. You'll hear the bottle rockets and the firecrackers, and it's intermittent. And then it gets to be a daily occurrence. It was a running joke. I would talk with Stefan because we're basically in the same neighborhood, and you would hear it all day, every day. It wasn't like that this year. And I have to believe that it's somewhat connected to the drones and the step up in patrolling and other things going on in neighborhoods these days, which are probably discouraging these open displays of fireworks. But they're using them right now. They're definitely using them right now. They'll probably go all night into the morning. So you hear that? We got 2 more segments. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Happy birthday, America. Happy Independence Day.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. I think at my house, at least at Chateau Le Mo, we moved to the party portion of the evening. We're going to pull out probably the karaoke machine and do karaoke into the wee hours of the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be participating in that, but there are folks hanging around. They're done with the fireworks, so I guess they're moving on to the party portion. My son, Miles, he's out doing something outside. I don't know exactly what. He's serving his DJ tonight, and so he's going to be my neighbors on both sides of me. They're out for the evening. So, and I told them in advance we were going to have a DJ, might be noise. They said, "Oh no, we're not going to be here. Do whatever you want." I said, "Oh, great."
Nice.
So it's going to be going all night long, and we don't have. And you know how my house is set up. There's no one behind us. It's an open field,
Right.
So I'm not really bothering anyone, and the people across the street from us, they're gone. So it's good. They're going to, you know, it's going to turn up.
Miles had it cracking.
Yeah.
I would give it to him. Miles had the party going.
He has his own little DJ business now, so I'm not mad at him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Proud
Okay.
of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting business. I mean, he does enough events, and he's learning how to market himself.
Righteous.
You know, when if you're doing a wedding, make sure that everyone knows who the DJ is and can contact the DJ. I don't care if it's a QR code, whatever. You just make sure.
Right.
Because you want to be top of mind the next time someone needs a DJ.
I did not know that he had started his own business.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Now I can't teach him everything. He should have had his ass up here so he could tell everyone about his DJ business. But he'll learn. He'll learn. You know, sometimes he's a little short-sighted.
So look, you're a DJ at an event where there's a live broadcast going on.
Right.
Take advantage of that. Take advantage.
You should have been the first one up here, but you know, young folks, they know everything.
I love it.
Now you have to finish off the story because I was telling how your daughter and her friend had gone up to the park and how they weren't going to be cold.
Look, they went up there and in actuality, okay, I'll be fair. It's not as cold as I thought because I went up there and I had my sweater with me and didn't need it. It's not as cold as I thought it would be up there.
Okay,
it's not
fair
even
enough.
really brisk. So and there's a lot of young people up there
I know.
who are trying to be seen. A lot of young ladies up there trying to be seen.
How about rough
lot of little
ages?
boys up
Teenagers?
Teenagers, bunch of teenagers. So
Uh-huh.
just a bunch of teenagers. You see a couple little couples up there booed up on some of the benches, looking at the fireworks. I walk by one table and they're like, "Oh, this is so beautiful."
It is
I
teenage
know, right?
romantic up there.
Yeah, it is. It's very teenage romantic. There's a group of teens that live somewhere in your comment. There's a whole mob of them heading up there right now.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know
so
who it is. Yeah.
They're rolling deep up there, and they all just look like they're coupled up, a whole little mossy of boys and girls all up there having fun. So it is a beautiful sight up there. It really, really is.
I was saying that I want that for them so they have their own memories, especially with teenagers. There are too many other things that they would rather be doing than hanging around with parents or old folks like us. So I'm actually impressed that they actually wanted to spend any time around us.
Yeah, no, I'm encouraged by it. I mean, when this is your first choice of things you can do, especially for my daughter who's really, really find herself like, son, he's now got his own crew. He's got his own folks he wants to hang out with. And he was like, yo, I'm going to come through. He went to Anime Con.
Oh, he did go.
So he went and he was there all day, and then he was hitting me up and he was like, "How late y'all gonna be there?" I was like, wait a minute. You talking about how late you're gonna be there? Like, you know how long the show runs?
Right.
And he was like, so I'm trying to think about which one I'm gonna do. He was trying to think about which place he was gonna come. Cause it's like, if he was going by Uber, he had fair enough to get to one place.
Oh, he had to make a choice.
Yeah, so he couldn't, he's not driving it. This is one of those things where he's like, yeah. I'm starting to see this whole driving thing in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
He said, so he's like, I can either come there, or I can go to the other place. And he's right now. So he was trying to weigh options as far as options.
I mentioned your kids because they've grown up in and around this show.
Yes.
In the 13 years plus that I've been on KFI, I've watched your son become a man, and I'm watching your daughter become a young woman. And they've been here for a number of years of the Later with Mo Kelly show, any type of event we've had here.
Yes.
We've had non-Chateau Le Mo events here. They've come through. And I am proud and pleased that they found this to be a positive experience and are willing to come back. It's a Friday night. There are other things they can be doing. Trust me. I remember.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. No. Being young and all the distractions and all the things that can happen here. And I just love, when I see my daughter come in and she's just personable and she's hanging out, and then with all the little kids, some reason or another, they gravitate towards her. So when I was downstairs for a little while the party was going on, she was holding somebody's baby. Mm-hmm. She was babysitting down there and hanging out and just doing it. And she's just like, she's having a ball. She is having fun. And that's hard to accomplish with young people nowadays. A lot of times they're never satisfied, get something 1 minute, next minute they're bored. But when she comes here, she's never like, I'm bored, I want to go. How much longer are we going to be? No, this is like, let's hang.
This is what I noticed. She's not in her phone. She's very present and she's very comfortable in her skin.
Yeah.
You don't find that. She's not, I don't remember an awkward stage for her. She may have had one, but I didn't see it. And she's very comfortable in her own age group, and she's comfortable with kids, and she's comfortable around adults.
Yeah.
There's an air of maturity in her that I have to assume comes from both you and your co-parent, your ex-wife. But it's nice to see because I've watched them grow up.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. That's why I keep checking my phone, because I'm like, okay, man, any minute my sons can hit me and be like, hey, can you come and get me? Or what's the address? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, where are you, young man?
Did your daughter find any little boys that she had her eye on, to the best of your knowledge?
I honestly believe that even if she did, she would not tell me. She would not.
Because she knows who you are.
I mean, look, kind of, sort of. I keep trying to impress upon her that the best thing that can be done is to tell me, for us to talk, to share.
Yeah, that's what you say now.
To let it be known, because it's like, as a parent, I think that's the thing I want the most. Like, interesting story. Okay. The other day, I'm at the school and I'm in the break room, and some of the young people in the break room.
What grade is she in?
She's going into 10th.
Okay.
So she's going into 10th. But at the school that I work at, my son works there too now. So I'm in the break room, and some of the young people in there, they were like, Mr. T, what's up with Mason? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, we went to the beach and he literally has on jeans. It's like he's like some wild New Yorker at the beach with jeans and Timbs on, in the sand. We're like, what's up with you? And then he gets in the water and he has on these big giant shorts. And I'm like, he got into the water? And they're like, yeah, he got into the water with these shorts on, and they actually got knocked off of him. A wave hit him, and the shorts got yanked right off of him. So he's in the water naked. And we're like, wait, what? And I'm like, and I told him before he went to the beach, I said, hey, don't get in the water.
Yeah.
Stay out of the water. And he's like, yeah, I don't get into the water. I don't get into water. And then I come to find out he's in the water. So when we're riding home the other day, I'm like, hey, man, why'd you lie about getting in the water? I look, if I say don't get into the water, I'm telling you that because there's raw poop in the water. It's filthy.
We've talked about it.
Even today, the reports came out about today. If you're going to the beach this weekend, don't get in the water. Sit on the sand, enjoy a good lunch with your family, but don't get in the water. So I'm like, it's interesting because I'm like, hey man, just if I'm telling you something, I'm trying to tell you for your own good. You're grown now. I'm not going to scold you. You're not at that age where I can really come down on you. So you're 19 years old. Like, you got to live your own life. I'm just sharing some information for you, but I tell him, I say, hey, look, man, like, you're at the age where you can come to me man to man. You can tell me, you don't have to worry about me being mad or coming down and you getting in trouble if I tell you not to do something. If I tell you that, I'm telling you because, I'm telling you from a news perspective, not because I'm your parent trying to tell you.
Trying to control you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to control you, dude. I'm trying to tell you, man, stay out the water, man, before you come down with something.
I just remember when I was 19 to maybe 22, 23, I can say with absolute certainty, I was the smartest person in the world and I knew everything. Or at least that's what I told myself. I'm just being serious. I saw no use for anything my parents or adults generally, what they were trying to tell me. I had no use. It did not mean anything. It's like, why are you trying to tell me not to do something when I've already made up my mind and I know it's okay to do that? They would tell me, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Well, I beg to differ, but some good things did happen after 2 a.m. But I was not old enough to understand the wisdom in what they were saying. They weren't talking about this party, that party. They were trying to obviously tell me that I was broadening the likelihood of something bad happening.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that until something bad happened. And then you realize, oh my gosh, my parents weren't idiots. They were actually smarter than I thought they were. And then about maybe 25, 26, I realized I don't know every damn thing.
Yeah. Jesus.
And that's the circle of life where you think you know everything until you really learn that you don't know everything. But it's nice to be able to see Mason in your daughter go through these changes.
Yeah.
But safely. We're not talking about making those big decisions which change the trajectory of their lives.
No, I'm glad that they are still young enough and innocent enough where they've got the world in front of them. And, as a parent, I think for me on a night like this, these are those moments that we as parents fear when we have, my oldest child, he's out and about, he's hanging with his friends. And even I told him the other day, he got home from hanging out one night, like 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm like, hey man, look, I get that you're hanging out and I'm not coming down on you because I know you're responsible. Your friends are responsible. That's fine. I'm talking about the people that are on the road that aren't. If you don't know how many times we see stories of a group of teens who were hit and killed by someone who was driving drunk. On this night especially.
Yes.
This is the night that you can't be out there on a Friday night, 4th of July. This is a recipe for drinking and driving. I hope the California Highway Patrol, I really hope CHP is out there pulling every single person who swerves over. If they swerve just because they weren't paying attention, pull them over, take their keys.
See, that's a perfect example. When my parents were telling me nothing good happens after 2 a.m., that's shorthand for all these scenarios they couldn't possibly envision or explain in a given moment. But it was better distilled through the advice of nothing good happens after the 2 a.m. because they had enough worldly knowledge to understand it was inclusive of all that stuff that I had not even considered. Because in my ignorance at that age. I was only thinking about what I was going to do, not what the world was going to do that I had no control of.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time, wrong idiot at the wrong moment.
That's all it takes. Sometime in an instant, life changes. It really, really can.
Yeah.
So, look, my prayers for each and every one of you out there that's going to be out tonight. There are some of you who may be heading out to a party right now. It is a Friday on the 4th.
Now.
Drive safely. Keep your eyes on the road. If you do imbibe, do not drive. Please.
No truer words. It's later with Mo Kelly. We have one more segment as we continue to say happy birthday to America on this Independence Day. It's Chateau Le Mo, the 5th annual live broadcast. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's later with Mo Kelly. Wait a minute, Raul. What do you know about Frankie Beverly and Maze?
Man, come on. I worked at Hot 92 Jams.
Look, Frankie Beverly and Maze is very specific. It's appropriate for a 4th of July party. I'm saying you're on hit. I'm just saying, how do you know about Frankie Beverly and Maze?
I opened one time for Earth, Wind & Fire at the Greek, and I remember that so vividly, and just like playing the music and seeing everybody dancing, and like it sticks out in my mind, and it's just the music I always revert to when I'm feeling good.
Oh, look, you're not wrong. In fact, Earth, Wind & Fire is at the Hollywood Bowl tonight.
I know.
Wait a minute. You opened up. Let's go back to that. Hold on.
I DJ'd.
And that's what I'm saying. We can't just skip past the fact that you opened up the show for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right?
The elements.
Right? And then it's like something that always just sticks in my mind on a celebration day that because my boy Shaky was supposed to DJ, Jordan was supposed to DJ, but he was late or something. And they're like, who can DJ? And I was like, I got it. Put me on. And the rest is history.
You were opening for the elements.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Is there any video of that?
Man, it's back when there was no video. It's like,
I understand. That's why I got to ask the question.
I wish. Cause I would love to, I don't even know what I played. I was like put on the spot and I just started playing. I was just playing, the Hot 92 Jams. You remember? We used to play the good stuff.
Yeah. One of our close friends who unfortunately is no longer with us, Josefa Salinas, was an air personality with Hot 92 Jam. So yes, absolutely. But I can only imagine what that was like. Amazing. Now, did you at least not make the mistake of playing any of Earth, Wind & Fire's hits?
Well, it was Earth, Wind, and Chicago. And of course, no, I just went with the, crowd pleasing. All you're doing is trying to please, and people are walking in. So you don't want to go too hard. You gotta, you were talking about, your son DJing, you gotta learn, you gotta learn how to work the crowd and not go too hard yet. You gotta ease in, get people warmed up, and then, the rest.
Did you say it was at the Greek?
Yeah, it was the Greek. Yes.
That's a great venue.
Right?
Yeah. It's a great venue. I remember seeing Tina Turner at the Greek. There are moments where you see great artists at great venues, and the Greek is one of them. Hollywood Bowl, of course, is one of them. But yeah, that's one of those stories that you get to tell your grandkids. And it's like, yes, when I opened for the elements.
Yes.
Exactly.
I love it.
As we come down to the end of this birthday celebration for America, this 5th annual celebration of Chateau Le Mo on Independence Day, I have to say, again, it's the best job in the world because we get to do this under the pretense of work, but it's not work. I love what I do. I love talking to you each and every night, Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. And I appreciate the opportunity to bring you in my world, which may be a little bit different from many people's world. You get to see my life beyond just talking on the radio from 7 to 10. I think that's very important. It's one thing when we have social media and you post a cool picture there and you have a filter and you edit it and you clean it up. But when you get to see life as it happens, and we had live Instagram tonight, you got to see inside my house, family members, friends, people who are commentators on the show. You get to see just a different aspect of my life. And even though I'm broadcasting from my home studio right now, I drive in every single day to the studio with the exception of today, because there's a different energy by doing it in the studios in Burbank. And that's why I brave the traffic each and every day, because I believe it's my responsibility to earn your time every single night. Because you could be doing anything. You could be listening to a different host on a different station. You could be watching TV, watching a movie. You could be playing on social media, not doing anything. But right now, you're spending time here with Later with Mo Kelly. And I don't take it for granted. And that's why we make it a point to not have a pre-recorded show, not a best of show. And that's not to slight or shame anyone else. I'm just saying that's talking about our dedication to you as a listener. We want to make sure that you know that you may not be out at a party, or you may be at a party, but we're here for you. We are available for you. And we want to make sure we give you the best show possible each and every night.
Amen.
And programming note, I will be in for Gary and Shannon on Wednesday. I believe that's the 9th.
Yeah.
Wednesday, obviously from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So you get me Tuesday night, and then Gary and Shannon Wednesday morning in their slot. And that's always fun, because you get to do different stories. You get to have a different energy. The things that we talk about during Later with Mo Kelly from 7 to 10 is very different from what we would talk about from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yeah, there's just certain things we're just not going to do in the morning. It's not appropriate. But I want to say thank you to you, Raul, for handling the bumpers and the music selections. It was spot on. It was perfect for this birthday celebration of America. I want to say thank you to Mark Ronner. Wish you were here, my brother. We really need you here in the future.
Can't wait for next year. By the way, never get out of the boat, and give my best to Colonel Kurtz.
Mark,
it's the gunfire.
No, it's serious. I know you can still hear it in the background. Yeah. It's definitely no joke, but it's a great show, and it will go on until like 3 a.m. No exaggeration.
Coming up next fun.
Coming up next is Coast to Coast AM. No, it's all right. You can talk over me anytime. No, go ahead. Step on me. Go ahead. One more time.
I was waiting for you to start.
KFI.
Okay, how about now?
We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.